just a bloke in a bar.
I got to weigh in on this flat Earth situation.
Oh, yeah.
Look, just walk the audience through the flat Earth situation.
Okay, I'll walk you through it. So obviously Tom and I share...
Or do you want me to give my opinion first so people don't think I'm swayed by the story?
That's probably reasonable.
Yeah,
Why
okay.
don't you give your opinion?
Okay.
And then I can fill people in.
Look, I think that Eddy loves scat shit, as in like, fuck, that's hectic. Like maybe something about the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
But Tom likes flat Earth shit that's kind of strange, weird, but also has like an angry group that follows it.
Yes.
That's a Tom vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas you're more of a space vibe.
Yeah.
That's my vibe. So I can see Tom going down an angry rabbit hole.
Yes. I completely agree with that. So for context, punters and dribblers, I was at home the other day. We share our accounts. So like Instagram is a Hello Sport account. TikTok, I don't have my own TikTok. I'm just using a Hello Sport account.
Yeah.
And I go in there from time to time. I'll be honest, it's addictive, and
it is addictive.
It can get its fucking claws into you, and you got to show a lot of strength and resilience, and you got to be brave, and you got to stand up and fight. But sometimes I'm weak. Sometimes I might have a big weekend. I'm laying in bed and I'll just pound that shit.
Yeah.
Now, I started to notice an uptick in flat Earth videos. So obviously the algorithm's saying something like you've been engaging with flat Earth material.
Yeah.
Which I found strange. They kept popping up more and more. I'd go past them. One of them stopped me. I will admit, one of them stopped me. It was this guy who had fucked up teeth. Like, even if he was sitting here, I'd say it to his face. I'm like, your teeth are fucked up. And he'd have to be honest with me because his teeth were horrific. And he's got this globe, right? He's holding it in his hand with a plane. And he's like, are you telling me if you fucking fly from Australia down to America down to Australia, you wouldn't feel like you're fucking vertical like that? I'm like, oh my God, this is so dribbly. What a fucking moron. Like, also, bro, just because the globe, the map shows Australia at the bottom, it's 3D space. It could be at the top, mate. It could be on the side. There's no up or down, you silly prick. Anyway. That was the only one I've ever watched, but they still start fucking flowing in more. And I just thought to myself, this reeks of Tom Birmingham. He loves conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
He loves siding with angry people. And he said to me on a drive down to a golf day, this is a true story. He said to me, I was watching Joe Rogan the other day. I go, yeah, I don't mind Joe. Nothing against Joe. Some of the guests you get on, you need to fact check the fuck out of. And this guy is saying that the magnetic poles are due to shift. I'm like, right, whatever. Maybe they're due to shift, and the Earth's going to stop spinning altogether. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, mate, the Earth's going to stop spinning, and then one side of it's going to face the sun. It's going to burn and shit. I'm like, bruh, I don't think that's how it works. Like, just because the magnetic poles flip doesn't stop momentum. Like, it's been spinning at this speed for fucking a variety of reasons. Least of all, the moon, which used to be another planet, crashed into us, sped the fucking thing up. So, like, I don't think it's going to stop spinning because some prick on Joe Rogan said it was. Point being, damn it. He loves that shit.
Look, if Tom was walking down a street and an angry mob was just yelling at something, he would join the angry mob.
100%.
He would join it. He has a tendency to lead into anger.
Yeah. He's an angry guy, and listen, some of the things he looks up, like there may be truth in there, right?
Oh, for sure.
There might be some truth in there, but he unfortunately tends to believe these things as fact without maybe playing the other side.
The world stop spinning one is interesting. That's a pretty hectic secret to keep for a lot of people.
Why would it stop spinning though? I don't like. How are you going to fucking stop the Earth spinning?
But like one guy's found out about it. So let's say there's 10 guys. So only 10 people know about it. All the other people that are know about that practice in regards to whatever fucking physicist practice or whatever in regards to the...
There'd be plans.
So it's like all of them people are just like hiding that secret that they know.
Exactly. It's like it's a known fact that asteroids can hit the Earth. You know what I mean? No one's hiding that. It's like...
Well, they hit them. Regularly we get hit by fucking
exactly,
shit.
but big fuckers, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's known, and there are plans to try and prevent one. Like, it's a known thing. If it was known that the Earth had stopped fucking spinning because some prick said so, like, it'd be talked about. You know what I mean? Like the massive asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs happened, fucking 70 million years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
we know about that. If the Earth stopped spinning 100 million years ago, we'd know about that because it'd be like these things happen.
And also, like, the people in the know don't want to die.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's ridiculous.
The powerful people are like, they're not going to be like, oh, let's just keep it a secret and don't prepare for it. It's like, no, I don't want to die. Like, I don't want my family to die. I don't want my friends to die.
Yep.
So look, as I said, you do like some strange stuff.
I like strange stuff. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I like strange stuff. But there was an unusual uptick in flat Earth material coming across my desk, and I immediately thought of Tom William George Birmingham of fucking conspiracist fame.
Look, he does love. Look, I'm a Joseph fan, Joseph Rogan. I'm a Joseph fan.
Yeah, I like some of his work. Yeah.
But at the same time, every now and then, there's a guest that I go, oh, that seems a bit strange. And also, Joseph has a tendency, if you go back and watch some of his old stuff, to believe some pretty hectic shit.
He's that way inclined, and credit to him.
Oh, credit to him. Full credit to him. The bloke's absolutely... Talk about the power Rogan has. Like,
oh, fuck yeah.
Think about... Because, like, power is ideas. That's really what power is the idea of power. So whatever he puts out there into the world in regards to, like, his opinion, people just adopt it.
Well, yeah, wholesale. The problem with Joe is he doesn't... And I don't know if this is for a lack of trying, so I'm not accusing him of anything. But I would prefer him to go, here's an Egyptologist that like has a sort of an opinion that is like, normal, for lack of a better word.
The establishment.
And then there's another guy who's like, well, that's fucking ridiculous because of water erosion, all that stuff. And I would like hearing from both of them. I don't necessarily want them to argue because arguments deteriorate into absolute shit shows. Yeah. But like at least have them close together so that I can go, okay. I want both sides.
What I've learned a lot about with like listening to Joe, I don't listen to Joe much anymore, but what I've learned like by listening to all the people he has on, the truth is usually somewhere in the middle.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
You know what I mean? Like,
couldn't agree more.
It usually is like this guy that sounds crazy usually has a lot of truth in it, and there's just like 20% or 30% that's nonsense.
Well, it's like Alex, what's his name? Alex Jones. A lot of bullshit, but some truth.
Yeah, a lot of bullshit, but he's nailed some stuff.
He's also fucked up big time.
Big time. Jesus Christ. And so I think that like that's the biggest takeaway from like Joe Rogan's podcast is like there is always a skerrick of truth somewhere in the bullshit by some of the more out there guests. And the truth's always somewhere in the middle. Like
the problem with truth as well, Denon, not to get deep on truth,
let's get deep,
is that there can be multiple truths in you know what I mean? Yeah. People want absolute truth, like you're wrong and you're right. That's not necessarily the way things go. You know what I mean? Like great. Both things can be, two things can be true at once. Yeah. But also a bit of false in them, which confuses people.
Life is grey. Life is a grey area. It's not.
Oh, life's grey.
It's super grey. Super grey.
Or is it grey or is it like vibrant colours?
Like a rainbow.
It's not black and white.
It's the opposite of that.
It's not black and white, and I don't know if it's grey because that's
boring.
It's a bit boring.
But are we just projecting?
Is it a Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Is it like an acid dream?
Potentially. Well, I mean, fuck. If you want to get really balls deep.
What is it?
What's going on?
DMP, DMT.
Yeah, DMP, DMT. Like,
we are the DMT of podcasting.
That's right. Ask yourself this, punters and dribblers. What the fuck's going on?
Exactly.
What is this? Oh, what is this shit? On a fucking rock, hurtling through space,
Mate,
orbiting a sun, which is orbiting a fucking galaxy, which is orbiting and just fucking rolling around the universe. Yeah. What is going on?
Well, you know what fucking wigs me out is the concept, and I spoke about this on Pack It Up Boys, but the concept of infinity.
Ridiculous.
If it is real, if infinity is real.
It is real.
Then that means that everything that can happen is happening right now.
And has happened.
And has happened and is going to happen.
Well, like, there's theories where people go, in alternate universes, right? Then everything that has happened in my life in the universe, in the world, as up to this point has happened, except in one world I move the can like this, and the other one I don't. That's like that doesn't make any fucking sense. So infinity is too hectic, but it's like it's all factored into mathematical equations and shit, so they know it works.
And with infinity, if infinity is true, then our concept of things needing to have a beginning and end is not true. Do you know what I mean? because it's infinite.
I heard of something fucked the other day.
How does infinity begin?
I heard something. I'm trying to explain it. It's like if you count from one, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just count up forever, right? To infinity. That would be quicker, or like that infinity would be smaller than if you counted in point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4,
or maybe
point 5,
on another
point 6.
podcast.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, there's different levels of infinity. So yeah, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or you could go 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and then you could go into fractions. And I think they said there's 4 levels. Could you Google the levels of infinity? I think it's 4 levels of infinity, which wigs me out even more. Because then I'm like, how can there be different levels of no beginning and end?
Well, have you seen the icon for infinity?
Yeah, the 8
which is
on
like
the
the
side.
8, which is basically, if you look at it, it's like it just
Never ends.
goes. No, but it never started, and it never ends. It just goes back, and it's just going back on itself.
Oh my god!
Which wigs us out because we were born and then we die.
Yeah.
So the thought of it always was, always will be. Which might even be an indigenous term. So they might have. Do they say that? Because if they were fucking on the job.
They say that about Australia being their land.
Right. Still,
I mean, it's a fair point. What's the levels of infinity?
So it says here, and this is the first thing I googled. It says there's 3. So innumerable, which is lowest, intermediate, and highest. Then innumerable, which is nearly innumerable, truly innumerable, and innumerably innumerable. Sorry, tongue twister. And then infinite, nearly infinite, truly infinite, and infinitely infinite.
Infinitely infinite.
Like how, you know what I don't get is how do someone of the same species, like so he's a human like me or she's a human, understand that?
Mate, it fucks me up sometimes how smart people are.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking the tippy top, like the motherfuckers.
Like a guy that can hear that.
Galileo, Da Vinci, Einstein,
Crazy.
like some crazy cats.
Yeah. And they're the same species. But they're just like, how do they think? How do you listen to that and go, oh yeah, I get that? You know, like
that's an explanation given to us, right? Like these motherfuckers actually
gave it.
They should understand it. It's crazy. I don't know. It just wigs me out. Completely wigs me out.
Infinity. It is bizarre. I think also bizarre is the concept of like time. I still don't get it. You know how people try to explain like time as a different dimension to fucking, there's like a...
I see different I see different things. People say that time's the 4th dimension. I don't think that's actually necessarily true. Not relevant though. Just park that. Time's contextual. Do you know what I mean? Like if everyone was born with a super accurate, like incredibly accurate clock, and you lived for 50 years and you met back up, your time would be different. Wouldn't be the same. You experience time differently.
That's fucking wild. What about if you
like
spin
fucking
around?
satellites are set 0.00000 like 6 seconds slower than we are here. Time's quicker here than up there.
Bro, you know I loved in a movie that wigged me up but also was like so hectic is Interstellar when they went down on that planet and they were like 7 minutes is 7 years because of the gravity pull and they fucking...
Yeah. It's all true, that shit.
It's so hectic. How? And then also what's crazy, as you just suggested, or you just said, a scientist that didn't know that worked out something to know that.
I know.
Like, what the fuck? Like, so he was sitting there one day, and then the next day he knew it. Like, I know he went through equations and shit, but one day he just like didn't know something. It was like unknown, and then the next day he was like, oh, I actually know this thing that didn't exist before.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh my God. Oh, but you know what? They don't know rugby league. That's
No,
what
they
they
don't.
don't. They don't know rugby league.
Does Einstein know rugby league football?
Can he truck nut?
Nah.
He can't truck nut.
He can't truck seed. Not pure seed.
Not the pure true stuff. Not the pure true stuff.
Nah,
Fuck,
not the back fence stuff.
Nah. He might come off from the footpath, maybe. Not the back fence.
Oh, mate, maybe a little bit of touchdown the park.
Yeah.
Not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that tough carry. I'm talking about that 72nd minute fucking chips it down carry.
Yeah.
Talking Fifita close to the line, grand final.
Yeah.
Carries fucking 7 cunts over. That sort of
We're talking
trucking.
Webkey, broken forearm,
Yeah.
grand final stuff.
Yeah. Einstein doesn't have that sort of ticker.
Nah. He might have fucking...
Yeah, you might be smart. You might be a smart little prick, and that's fine. But you
With
can't
strange
truck
hair.
nut.
And he's got strange hair too.
Can't truck nut, bro. Can't truck nut.
Anyway, Beer, Food and Footy Festival. Come down to the Henson Park. I will be there. Guru will be there. Timmy will be there. Matty might be there if he's not a coward.
This is Christmas for Guru.
It is literally Christmas.
Beer, footy, and beer, food, and footy festival.
It's
That's
heaven.
fucking heaven on a stick.
I want
for
to see the
big
Black
fella.
Book. That's what I want to see. Because I don't think anyone's actually seen it.
Is he taking it down?
I don't know. That's the thing. You get down to
Surely
Henson
not.
Park. Grab the tickets in the comments, underneath the video or in the show notes, because you might see Guru's little Black Book.
You might.
Do you reckon it's all weathered and beaten and
Oh
that?
fuck yeah! It'd be pages falling out. It'd be a mess. You'd
like-
think.
It's like Eminem's thing that he carries around everywhere.
Yeah, when he's on the bus, he's like, I'm not going to do it. I thought about it. I'm like, nah. Maddie should do it.
Yeah, you should do it. Oh, you're a coward.
Soft.
Absolute coward.
Soft.
Beer, food, and footy festival. Make sure to get down, guys. I'll be there serving beer. Well, I won't be actually serving the beer because I don't have my RSA, I don't think. But I will be there in the vicinity of people that serve you beer. So I can say, look, here's my beer. Would you like to try
You're
it?
overseeing it.
I'm overseeing the serving of beer.
That's right.
And also mingling. Kissing babies, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
If you want a
hugging.
baby kiss, I'll do it because I need to work on like holding the baby because I've obviously got a kid coming.
Yeah, you need to get your practice in.
I'll
Get
kiss
some
babies.
runs on the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you,
Absolutely.
man.
You know what's weird is the shirts that I release, like the best dad, grumpy dad, all those kind of shirts. I actually love wearing that shirt now, the best dad one.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
Cute for you, man.
Thanks, bro. I can't wait. You know what? With Tom, I'm not going to show a single sign of weakness. Even if I've had the worst night's sleep in history, because I'm not going to let us down.
Well, that's
know what I mean?
because you and I've been a little bit worried about this. I must
No,
admit,
mate.
is that you and I were such a unified brotherhood, where we'd sort of back each other up when Tom was fucking whinging yet again because he's sick all the time because his immune system's weak, and he would try to say that it happens to everyone,
That's absolute truth too.
which I disagree with. So I'm hoping that you stand up for both of us.
I will.
And show Tom what strength looks like, what fucking being a man looks like. We'll see though. You might turn. I might be by myself.
I won't break. I honestly, I might come in here looking a bit bedraggled.
Yep.
But you won't hear a whisper of complaining out of
Just
my mouth.
positivity, man.
Just pure positivity. And you know what it'll be? Truck and nut.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing every single day.
This is your origin, mate, coming up.
This is my origin. This next couple of years with this young fella coming in the world.
young,
truck series,
your young New South Welshman. He's going to love the state, isn't he?
That's
He's
so
going to love blue.
fucked. That's so fucked. That's so much ammo that is for the rest of my life that I have to cop.
Yeah, it's all right, mate.
That's a bullet that I have to take for my son every day.
He's going to love the state, though. You know
He's
what
not,
I mean?
he's not going to love the state.
He's going to bleed blue, guarantee you.
No, he's not made of that stuff.
I think so, mate.
I think he's made of the
I
Queensland
think you
stuff.
find he'll bleed blue. You'll find it.
Get down to Beer, Food and Footy Festival. Also, Bloke Lager on special in all New South Wales Thirsty Camel stores this week. Go check out your nearest Thirsty Camel in New South Wales and get a case of the good stuff, the beer of rugby league. Let's get into some news, shall we?
Yep.
So two young, incredibly talented guys that you can build a club around that, just everyone is talking about the next big thing. Two of the next biggest things, like every club chasing them. Oh my God. Seriously incredible.
Yep.
They've signed with the Tigers.
They have.
Their names are the Fainu brothers.
They are. Fucking tough pill to swallow, that. Real tough pill. Because, and I'm going to blame Guru here. I wasn't that hopped up until he hopped me up.
Oh, he helped you up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Kid could be anything me with young Latu. And I thought, okay, perfect. He's like, mate, this kid's fucking unbelievable. He was saying shit like he reckons he's the most prodigious talent to have ever come through the system.
He's a gun.
And I said, what, you're telling me the most prodigious talent to ever come through the system? And he said, that's what I'm saying. So when I hear that the club's letting them go, it's broken my heart. And I want to be a professional. I want to be, a gentleman. I want to be seen to be saying the
You
right
want to be
things.
couth.
I want to be couth, and I want to support them. I do. I want to say that I want all the best for them, but that would be a complete and utter fit. I don't want them to do jack shit. I wouldn't mind if they stayed in reserve grade, because then I would feel better about this whole situation. But it's almost like if they turn around, if they go in there and just rip and tear and take the Tigers to the promised land. Oh my God! Imagine if those two won a comp before Manly did.
Well, look at
the
Hines.
Tigers.
Look
That'd kill me.
Look at Hines at the Sharkies. I know they haven't beat a top 8 side, but they're still sipping in the top 8 with Hines leading them.
They are, but they can't beat a top 8 side.
They're still in the top 8 though.
They are in the top 8. Listen, that was a tough pill to swallow. But Hines wasn't spoken about like Latu
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I
You
get
know
it.
what I mean? People are foaming at the mouth for Latu.
Fainu was a diamond in the rough, whereas Fainu is a diamond that everyone could see.
Hines was a great find by Bellamy in the Storm. No
Yeah.
credit, no denying that fact. Whereas Latu is just like everyone said it. Everyone's been saying it for years. And Guru hopped me up, and now my heart's been broken. He's got to move on, mate. You know?
Now, some people have questioned. So reportedly, they've signed for $500K. Each player has for 4 years. So long-term deals, $500K each. Now, some people have questioned the price tag, and don't get me wrong, $500K for a person that hasn't played first grade is massive overs. But you have to take everything into account in regards to where the Tigers are as a club. And if this pays off the way a lot of people have predicted in regards to the Fainu brothers, it's actually unders by the time. Like, let's say they come into first grade and they win Rookie of the Year or whatever. A 7 or a 6 wins Rookie of the Year or comes close to winning Rookie of the Year is worth $800K or something immediately.
Yep.
On top of that, I think we're going to have to. It's going to be a bit of a growing pains, but eventually, hopefully, it gets done. But when the new salary cap kicks in, $500K isn't like what it was in the last salary cap. It's actually more close to like $400, $350.
What's it going up to?
It's increasing by
14?
25% or something.
Yeah, it's about 12.9 or something. I'll confirm, but it's about
I think
that.
yeah. So I think it's increasing. Actually, 37% increase in the salary cap, isn't it? Anyway, let's say it's 37%. So, like yesteryear, 300 grand. 30% of that is what, about 100.
37. It's like
So in the new cap, that's 400 grand.
it's like 120 grand ish.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So
more.
people looking at the 500 grand amount, it's really around the 380, 400 mark.
Yes.
Which isn't as crazy. Like, for example, if someone said
It's not
today,
as crazy. It's certainly not as crazy.
you're going to sign the next half at your club for 380 out of school, or not out of school, and he's supposed to be the next big thing, you'd be like, that's a fair risk. That's a
Yes.
fair risk. So I actually, the price tag, although it looks crazy and you go, wow, that's a lot of money, I actually don't think it's as dramatic as some people may think due to the increased salary cap and also the position the Tigers are in. Like,
Mate,
they're
they've got to
desperate.
start taking some rugby league punts.
Rugby league risks.
Rugby league risk.
Fuck it footy. They need to play a bit of fuck it footy.
Well, they need to play fuck it footy with their signings because, like, you know, you look at the Tigers now, they've signed reasonably well,
Yeah.
I would say, up to this point. Like, Buller's been a great find, obviously. Happy Coruscant's a fucking beast. Bateman, Ice. But they're not going that well, obviously. They've got a half issue. Big time half issue. One of the great half issues of all time. Jinx.
You jinxed them. Oh, we jinxed.
I jinxed you. I jinxed
What
you.
does the jinx mean? Don't you have
I
to
don't
punch me
know.
or something?
Can you not speak? If I jinx you, which I just did,
You did. I'll give you that. You jinxed me.
I did jinx you.
And I'm still speaking.
Yeah, but you're supposed to play by the rules, I think. Like, if we were in the schoolyard, you'd be in big trouble.
I think inside a schoolyard, you absolutely have to fucking shut up.
Yeah.
But
Was
on a
that
pod-
it? Was that? I'm trying to remember.
Isn't it jinx white rabbit or some shit like that you have to say?
It was jinx, then you could say double jinx, and then there was like other things. I'm pretty sure you had to stop speaking.
Yeah,
But I could
yeah. You had to stop speaking until
And then-
there was different rules everywhere, but it's mostly it's until you buy someone a Coke.
And also, every time you spoke, you punch him in the shoulder.
Something like that.
Yes.
No, you'd bash them.
Bash him.
Well, you know what I mean. Dead legs and that. Bit of nut
Holy.
stuff. Where was I? Half problem. Huge fucking half problem. But then, you know, obviously Latu hasn't played a game of first grade. Is he coming in to start?
Well, he's not a 7, he's a 6.
But he's even in the halves. Like,
Yeah.
are they going to bring him in and start him? Or is he too green? What's he, 19, 20? It's tough.
I mean, crazy things have happened. Like,
Yeah.
in rugby league.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends how he goes in the preseason, I guess. Like, my only concern, so the price.
Is this as of now or next year?
I think it's next year.
Right.
I think it's next year. I guess my only concern for the Fainu brothers, especially the half, is the environment they're walking into. Are they going to be the best they can be at the Tigers? Now, at the moment, there's a bit of dramas, but if they can get through this painful period, Benji Marshall is perfect for a young fella coming through.
You'd think so, wouldn't
And getting the best out of him. And as I've said quite a few times now, when Luke Brooks started playing really well, the mail I got was just because Benji Marshall was being put forward more as the guy to listen to in regards to, game plans and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So if they give the keys of the castle to Benji, at least in the halves situation, I can see them developing into what they should.
Do you not think he has the keys now, relatively?
Mate,
like,
that
how much
club
do you reckon
is so
How much do you reckon Sheens is doing at the club?
Well, I think that they're.
It's hard to fucking know, isn't it?
I think Sheens is doing a lot, but I do think that there's only so much you can do unless your admin is on board. And clearly they disagree about signings. They're disagreeing about fucking nearly, it seems like everything. And so that's how much I'm not sure whether is Benji being put in the best environment to be the best coach he can be, you know? So...
Yeah, then Lee Hadjipatelis comes out during the week being like, you know, obviously Scott Fulton's job's to go out and get players that Benji and Tim Sheens want, right? And you're like, okay, that makes sense. But then Phil Gould says the other day, well, they've got a big say, but it's not the final say because then you've got to have the financial control there to be like, you know, what's the plan in and around the cap? What are we projected to be spending over the next 5 years? What sort of talent's coming back through the grades? Like, it's not just the coach that gets the say. So when Phil's saying that, but then Lee's saying something a little bit different, almost like, you know, fucking he'll tell Scott what to do. I'm like, well, why are they beefing then?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it even a problem?
Yeah, if he's purely just going, yep, sweet, Benji, what do you want? Then there shouldn't be a problem.
There wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense.
Look, it's at the Tigers, there's been so many dramas for so long, it's like you almost expect the worst.
Well, you would as a fan. I tell you what, if you are a fan, you're down on your knees.
Oh, mate.
Praying to fucking Lord Jesus above that these Fainu brothers go all right.
The problem is they still need a 7.
I'm aware. But, like, this is a start, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Look, as you said as well, the positive is if their young talent like Buller is unbelievable and they've also signed really well. So if they can just land, all they need is a good, solid 7.
Would you be in this situation, let's say, argument's sake, Larchester plays 6 next year, would you think it's a better option to bring someone like Aiden Caesar back because he's experienced?
Mate.
I don't know how old Jack Cogger is. How old Jack Cogger at the Panthers? Because that was like the other one they were fighting about.
And apparently they're Jock Madden, they're trying to get him back to the club.
Jack Cogger's 25.
Right, so
Cogger
Caesar would be
good.
in his 30s, wouldn't he?
And Caesar would be around 30, surely. Mate, it sounds crazy, and he doesn't want to come back, but Pearce would have been the perfect guy. Now, is he as good as he was in 5 years ago? No. But we've seen blokes that a lot of people thought were past it go to other clubs and how important an experienced 7 is. Like, look at Chad Townsend.
Chatty, I was just about to say.
Look at
Chatty.
Adam Reynolds. He didn't get re-signed because they were like, oh, no, he's too old, and he's like at the end of his career to a degree.
Killing it, mate.
He's literally killing it.
Look at DCE, old as Methuselah, mate.
And
Sean Johnson at the fucking Warriors,
Exactly.
old as shit.
Isn't it the...
It's an old man's game, the half.
I was going to say...
The halves this year.
Isn't it almost ironic that halves, when they're physically in incredible shape, they're at the shittest version of themselves.
Yeah.
Then they get to 35 where their body's fucking falling apart.
Yeah, and they're just killing it.
They're killing it. Fuck, it's weird.
You just, mate, just as Joey says, they get to 27, 28 and you just got more time.
Mate, I always look at Joey and then go, imagine if he had today's science and training, longevity.
And his neck wasn't...
his neck wasn't fucked. Imagine how good he would have been when he hit like 34, 35.
Oh, bruh. Would have been sickening.
It honestly would have been like, that's where the 8 in a row probably doesn't happen.
Oh, no way.
Because he would have played into at least, 2007, 8?
Yeah, he probably would have got at least 2 more years.
So that's where that emergence of the dynasty, surely Joey would have at least chipped one of them at the start. Like they, would have won one, maybe Joey wins
he
the
would have
second
chipped
one.
we would have got 2006.
Yeah, he would have done
At
something.
least.
So, mate.
Mate, huge difference. But you just look at the DCE. He's playing
crazy.
The best footy of his fucking career.
It is
he's
crazy.
Old as shit in rugby league terms, obviously.
What was he for him?
Shit, mate, he's a granddad.
He's literally a granddad.
He's absolutely killing it. Like, mate, an old head. So Aiden Caesar's probably a good shout. Mitch Pearce, fuck that. He just got too much shit when he was in Australia.
If I was Pearce, I
if
would
you're
become
over,
that.
you're in the south of France,
the crumpets?
bro. All that crumpet, mate.
mate.
You know, Saint Tropez, son and his dick. Are they still on top of the comp? Doesn't matter. And if they are, that's
Even if they're just close to the top.
in and around. Couple of wins.
He
You don't
would
want to
love it.
lose every game. Couple of wins here and there.
Yeah, they're winning.
They're winning?
They're winning.
Look, what if there's no way he'd be getting handsomely paid.
Oh, mate.
Probably staring down the barrel of a man of steel. Like, fuck, he's going back to the Tigers. What, to get shit on every week in the paper? You'd have to be mad as a cut snake to do that.
Mitchell Pearce would love a red wine, I reckon.
Oh, he'd love a rosé. Mate.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, reach out, Pearce, if you want a big day rosé.
Yeah,
Otherwise we'll
I'll
sort
send
out.
you some, mate. You let me know.
And some crumpets. We can send you a crumpet too.
Well, I think you probably sorted for crumpets. Don't
Oh,
you reckon?
okay. Fair enough. My bad.
Just like a vibe check. I reckon he's all right.
You reckon?
I reckon he's sorted.
Good looking bloke, Aussie, Got
cashed
coin.
up. Yeah, good shape. Like
Good
obviously looks
rig.
after himself.
Leading the Catalans.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably doing all right for himself.
Yeah, I think he's doing all right, mate. Especially this time of year, summer. Oof.
Oh, and imagine all the tourists coming through. Okay.
Oh, mate.
Okay.
Field day
Settle
stuff.
down. Settle down, son.
Settle down, son. Be your dad.
So yeah, look, I think that the Tigers had to make a big play. This is actually, as I said, I don't think it's as crazy a play as some are suggesting, but it is a big play.
Mate, honestly, if you're in the doldrums, you've got no halves, and all of a sudden the most prodigious talent all time, some are
He's
saying.
under 19's 6, so even if he's not the most prodigious, he's still the under 19's 6.
Just
South
regurgitating what people are saying, right? You fucking throw 500 at that guy?
Yeah.
Of course you
Get him in
do.
the club. There's other players that have come out of school on the old salary cap that come out on 350 roughish K. So, mate, I think it's a relatively smart play by the Tigers, and I think that Benji probably had a lot to do with it. I don't think they go to the club if Benji's not there.
Mate, 500 grand, honestly, is massive unders for someone that could be anything.
Yeah.
Really?
Because if he does hit his straps in the first year or two, that's massive unders.
Massive unders.
In the new salary cap. Now let's get to...
It's on the salary cap. I think it went up 25% from last year to this year, but I can't find anything of the exact figure for next year, and I suspect that has something to do with the whole CBA business.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm not too sure.
So let's just say it's 400K. Be conservative. It's 400K in the old cap, 500K in the new cap. Now let's get to the next club that...
What?
Manly, a bit going on there. Plenty of noise surrounding Manly and the player manager. The Seagulls have released an article
Oh, no.
listing their website, all their players. So basically, the Seagulls come out and have shown that 7 players with Mario Tartek, Daniel O'Luglin, 7 players, Chris Orr, Gavin Orr, Simon Healy, 6 players, as in, I think they're all at one place. And then Paul Sutton, 5 players, and then the manager in question, Isaac Moses, 5 players.
That's this year.
Exactly, this year. Next year, I think it jumps to 7.
Like, that's the point that I think everyone's trying to make, isn't it?
And it was one like a year ago.
Yeah. And now, there might be a certain coach managed by a certain player manager that's now at the club, and it's going up. I don't think, is that mad? Is that mad to draw that correlation?
Well, what I think is mad is it's the club that's making these decisions. I don't blame the player manager or the coach. It's the club that's allowing, if there's an issue with it, and what I don't understand about this media release, and look, they're in a tough spot, but what the implication to me is that if he does have a lot of players, then that is an issue. So we are going to show you that he doesn't. So
Yes.
when he does get to the point of having a lot of players, they're admitting it's an issue.
Yes. Which it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense, their approach to this. You just keep your mouth shut.
Just don't say anything.
You don't say anything. You're drawing attention to it unnecessarily because you're almost implying, so what's too much now?
That's what I'm saying. The implication is if he did have the most, then it's concern.
So basically, if he was a Mario Tartak,
Yeah.
big trouble. Do you know what I mean? But he is but there's been concerns around Mario Tartak's influence at the club for years anyway, and now you're admitting that he has the most players there. So I don't know.
I'm of the mind-
You just go back to, looking at what other clubs do. Would the Storm ever do this?
That's what I mean.
Do you ever hear of these issues there?
I don't understand the direction towards the managers. The club is allowing this.
The club has to sign the players.
Exactly. So that's what I don't. The player managers, it's their job to get gigs for their players. So it's like having a dig at the player managers going, they're doing their job. It's the club that is going, yep, we'll take him. Yep, we'll take him. Yep. Like they have to sign it all. They have to agree it all. They have to run it through all these different board meetings. And so that's where I go, if you're frustrated with anyone, you should be frustrated with the club making these a bit strange decisions.
But also, you've got to remember, there's always been some concern potentially around Mario Tartak and how many players he's had at the club. Let's park that for a second. The only reason this has come up is off the fresh round of signings that we just made, where some of them just didn't make a whole lot of sense, and they were mostly Isaac Moses affiliated. That was what the concern was.
Yeah.
It felt like there were some signings being made in line with the players he represented that didn't really stack up with where the club was at in terms of the people under contract anyway. That's why it came up as an issue.
Yeah. I'm really surprised they even
But
released
that
it.
hasn't answered. They haven't answered that original question though. They've
Yeah.
just said, well, he's got 5 players this year. What about next year and the year after and the year after that? Bizarre. Because now we know. Now you can track it.
I know. It's really put themselves in a tough spot.
Because you know, like, because next year you can go, well, what is it next year? And now what is it now? And you're like, okay, well, there's a trend. You see the trend?
And also, you're almost saying if he was at the top, it would be a problem. So we're going to show you he's not at the top.
But he will be.
So very surprising that they decided to draw more attention to it. And also, it feeds the beast. That's what the media wants.
Oh, mate.
The beast.
It's unbelievable. This is on the website. This is a media release.
I know. And the media, like everyone, including we're talking about it, everyone around is going, okay, we'll talk about it if you want us to talk about it. Like, sweet. Whereas before I would never even talk about it.
How much power do these player managers have? Like, in the sense that if you don't, go
Play ball.
down on them from time to time,
Not much.
will they go, well, I'm going to withhold my player?
No.
Surely the player can go, well, I want to go there.
Yeah. They have it to a degree, but like the clubs still have the power. Like to pretend like these huge clubs with massive resources that sit down and speak with these players don't have less power than player managers. Like these player managers they don't run huge corporations and companies that have all this weight to put behind it. They're player managers. They work on commissions. Like,
But the implication is that if you don't appease them, then they hold players back. Like, is that accurate?
I don't look. Maybe there's been some cases of it in regards to. I personally just think that if a player wants to be at a club, like for example, when I was at the Warriors, I was told that Broncos weren't keen to take you back.
Yeah.
So the Warriors and me had sat down and that we'd both gone, look, this isn't working out. They weren't, happy with my performance. I wasn't happy at the club. So, all right, mate, go and speak to other clubs. Anyway, but I still, technically, I still had another year with wasn't a massive contract, but around 90 grand a year Australian. Another year after the year I was currently on. So from a manager's perspective, you want to keep a player on the big coin.
Yep.
Well, not big coin, but bigger than what he would get elsewhere. Anyway, so basically my manager came to me and told me that Broncos aren't interested to take you back. And I was like, what the hell? They always said that they wanted me to take me back. They said it to me personally. So I rang the Broncos myself and was like,
Who do you call?
just the people that you used to work with, like
Front office?
your team manager.
Put you on hold?
Yeah. Hey, this is a former player. No, you just call the old team manager or the coach or whatever. And I said to him, I said, guys, like you said that you would always have me back no matter what. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, you're not keen on me. They're like, yes, we are. We will 100% have you back. Obviously, so basically I went back on less than what I was on at the Warriors. But that was a case of me going like, nah, bro, like I'm not staying here if the Broncos want me to come home.
Yes.
So, look, it's tough because the player managers manage guys that are 17, 18, 19, very impressionable. So I'm sure there have been times where, like, for example, I'll give the opposite argument. Going to New Zealand, I think personally my manager should have said to me, mate, if you really cared about me, mate, you've been playing rugby league for literally 2 or 3 years. This is a whole nother country. Going to New Zealand, it's usually a very tough transition. It's the toughest in the game. So you shouldn't be going to New Zealand. You should be going to a club in Australia where you can stay near your family.
Yeah.
So that's an indication of a player manager, I guess, not giving the advice that you probably should. In my opinion, should have given.
Do you think that was motivated by getting because they get a percentage of your contract?
Yes.
Don't they?
So the more you get paid, the more they get paid.
Exactly right.
So they are just motivated by earning as much coin as they can.
Yeah.
They don't look. There are some managers out there that do care about players and look long term, but there are a lot of managers that they don't care about long term. They just want the contract now, money in.
Particularly because there's not a heap of players that play long term.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, what's the average? 48 games.
And like you, if you were to take that route with every player of like, just focus on long term, just focus on development. First of all, a lot of clubs wouldn't get any players. Every club would be getting it'd be the Roosters, Storm, hopefully Broncos if they continue on this route. The Rabbitohs, they would just get all the players because every player manager would be like, go on unders and just go to there to get as good as you can get.
Yes, exactly.
So look, they do have power, but not so much that they can dictate to a club,
Do this or you don't get anyone.
do this. Like, look what happened to the Broncos. Like, the Broncos said, no, we don't want you. Massive clean out. And now they're swept.
Done all right.
So, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, they continue. I don't think they have that much. They have power, but not to hold a club to hostage. If a club is being held hostage, it's because of their choices, in my opinion. Now, Manly, all jokes aside, even though that wasn't jokes, but I actually am like a little bit worried about Manly going forward in regards to like, what's the direction?
Don't know, mate. Like, I don't know. Mike, there's a couple of... listen, it just doesn't feel like there is a clear path back to glory.
Yeah.
There's a couple of players there holding the place together. Your Trbojeviches, your DCEs.
DCE, oh my God.
You want to talk about fucking Tarzan glue. That's a couple of Tarzan glue operators right there. Tommy, unfortunately, these injuries are becoming a bit of a fucking issue. If he was to be right, I'd feel more confident, but his injuries make me feel a little bit lost at sea, to be completely honest. And then some of the signings recently, they just make you scratch your fucking head. Do I believe that we come out of this a better club? I hope to. I have to.
Yeah.
What else have I got, Dennis? If I don't have my belief, if I don't have my hope, I'm completely fucked. I must believe. I, at this point, need to believe in Seabold. I need to believe in him. I need to believe in the club. I need to believe in the board. I need to believe in these new signings. I have to believe. But I don't have a great feeling about it.
My biggest concern is just like, I don't know what there used to be in DNA with Manly. Fucking old school, tough. Every fan hates you, but you fucking don't give a shit. Whereas I just look forward and I go, what's really the DNA of Manly anymore? Like, what's the style of play outside? Like, the DNA for Manly is Trbojevic, really. Like, that's in regards to like, how are we going to go forward and win games? Oh, Tom Trbojevic, Jack Trbojevic. It's like, you've got to be more than that. Like, you've got to have something that's bigger than just two people. And I look at the Dolphins, and even though the Dolphins, you know, they've struggled for a few wins over the last few weeks, like, you can see a DNA in their side. They're tough. They never give up. They fucking hang in every single game. You look at the Raiders. They are just like Ricky Stewart. Like, they hate to win big. They love the fight. They love a punch on in the middle of a match. You know, you look at Storm. Their roster is nowhere near as good as the yesteryear roster, but their standards are so high. And I just look at Manly and I go, I just don't know what does the club... When I put it this way, before a match is about to start, I can't predict how Manly are going to play.
It's been like that for a while, though.
Yeah. And so I go, for example, even in their best year...
Except for that year, was it 2021, where you could predict it would hump losers.
But even then, when you got to finals, it was unpredictable. You came out, got smashed the Roosters, and then got smashed.
Correct.
So it's like, that's my concern with Manly, is I just don't know if there is like a... And also, with your signings, what message are they sending? Like Brooksy, I think Brooksy's going to be good, but a 4-year deal for Brooksy, I agree with you, too long, in my opinion. The other guys, relative, like fringies at the moment, a lot of potential, but fringies. But I think you more need like experience. Like, I think you need clear signings that are saying this is the... Like, for example, when Fitzy went to the Sharkies, look who he signed. Like,
well, look who fucking Wayne Bennett signed.
Yeah, Battlers.
At the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Battlers, Harden Battlers.
Webster.
Exactly.
Andrew Webster at the Warriors.
Exactly right.
Just like Charles Newell-Klukstad, just a battler.
Well, that was the difference between the Warriors and like the Bulldogs.
Yeah, for sure.
Old battlers. We need more old battlers. Jake's trucking too much seed on his own from that perspective. Like, he's basically got the club on his back, marching forward. There's whispers that we were given to by a dribbler that Tino wants to sign at Manly. Now, if he wants to do that, we'd be more than happy to fucking have the big fella. Tino can come down, slip into the maroon and white.
Is that a car park whisper, or is that...
Listen, it's a whisper, mate. And I need to hang on to something here, Dan. And as I said before, I'm nothing without my belief and my hope. And my hope is that Tino chooses the greatest club of all. If you want a bit more grunt, a bit more cunt back in the boys, maybe this new high performance centre at Brookie, although nice, maybe we need to go back to the demandables. Maybe we need to go back to getting changed in the boot of your car. Yeah. Maybe we need to go back to showering under a hose next to a fucking demandable out in the hot Australian sun. Maybe that's where fucking premierships are won. Mate, I don't know.
That's not so far off, because I do believe some of these...
But do you know what I mean? Like, you look at that 08 side, the fucking 11 side, just rough, tough, dirty motherfuckers who loved it.
Sometimes I do think that, like, for example, at Bronx, we had this old gym, and fuck, they won so many premierships out of it, the boys. And, like, sometimes I feel like a young kid coming into this crazy facility that's, like, fully high-tech, he needs that rough, gritty grunge, just for a couple of years at least, to, like, get him into the mindset of, just that tough kind of rugby league player. And that's what Manly were all about. Like, they were just so rough and tough. Even
bring your own, mate. Listen, like, bring in your own chair. Apparently the gym. Who was saying this the other day? Liam Knight was telling us. It's like the gym was in a hot fucking shed. Like, apparently weights was awful. It was like 45 degrees in there. Like, it was biblical.
Well, it weeds out people that are not soft, but if you are there for the equipment and the environment, it weeds out all the people that are like, oh, I don't want to go in this crappy place. It just gets all tough blokes like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to rip and tear.
The trainer said, what is there fucking aircon on the field, is there, boys? He makes a great point.
It's a great point.
It's a great point. It's a great point. So maybe we need to go back to the tough stuff, and maybe we need Tino to come to the club. Because we're a bit short up front. There's no denying that. But listen, are we in the perfect position to make an assault on the premiership? No, we're not. It pains me to say it. I believe in miracles, but...
All right, Sharkies, what's going on?
What's doing? What he's doing, mate? Fuck. Poor old Sharkies. They could miss the 8.
I know.
They got a pretty tough run home, don't they, Matty?
Yeah.
Can you get that up?
Yeah, I think
they cannot beat a top 8 side. Let's not forget last year as well. Although they finished second or whatever, they went loss.
Mate, it's the most bizarre.
And they
thing
got
ever.
humped too in those finals from memory. Like, it wasn't good.
The first
Humped in
one
the
was
last
close.
one.
First one was close.
They got humped the second one?
Yeah, South humped them.
Southampton. Like, it's...
Oh, here we fucking go.
Tommy. The flat earther. Did you tell him to call?
Oh, here he is, the flat earther, the token flat earther.
How you doing?
The flat
I'm
earther.
not the fucking flat earther. What the fuck are you talking about? Eddie's the flat earther.
Nah, we've been through it, mate.
Nah, it's bullshit.
Nah, we went through it.
I've got the voice of the punter and the dribbler. I've actually got their support.
No, you don't.
Yeah, groundswell of support. Groundswell of support.
Well, Campy doesn't believe you.
Yeah, look, we've already been through it, mate, and we've worked out
Yeah,
that...
of course he doesn't believe me, though. This is just typical ganging up on Tom bullshit. the people can see the truth. They know what's fucking what. And Eddie is a closet flat earther, and that's why it makes like I'm out and proud about my conspiracy theories. You know, like let's look into the pyramids a little bit more. We don't really know what's going on there, but the Earth being flat, like fuck that. That's Eddie.
Hey,
That's Eddie's realm.
listeners, listen to how angry Tom is.
He gets angry.
Yeah.
He's an angry guy.
And he just admitted it.
Yeah.
Angry. He went down an angry rabbit hole.
And flat earthers are angry. They're angry people.
No, don't mistake my fucking passion for anger. I'm a passionate man. In all fields of life, I'm a passionate lover. I'm passionate.
Yeah, that's why you always try to fight people.
Yeah.
That's not fight. That's not aggression. If you hit someone, maybe you're just passionately disagreeing with them.
Mate, there's no chance that you aren't the flat earther. Like, seriously, you're paying $1.01.
I don't even fucking use TikTok.
Oh, yeah. You're one of the cool guys. I don't like TikTok. Yeah, we get it, bro.
Yeah.
No, I love it when we get fucking good views on a video, Denon. I love TikTok, but I don't understand it. And so I shy away from TikTok. Eddie's fucking on there looking at all the dumbest shit you can imagine and putting up dances and whatever else. Like, not my dumb.
Putting up dances? See, now you're fucking lying to pad your story, mate.
Instagram guy. I'm an Instagram guy. I'm a YouTube guy. I'm a Pornhub guy.
Oh, God.
That's really uncouth, mate. Really uncouth.
Listen,
I hope your kids aren't in the car, mate.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I'm just going to go thinking, I'll just call up my mates. I wanted to check in on Kempy. I know how hard it is doing a one-on-one with Eddie. I do it every fucking day. I was just calling up to see how you were going, to check in, and I'm fucking getting blindsided. Here I am. What a fucking disgrace.
Oh, mate, you just keep listening to those Flat Earth podcasts that you've been listening to on your drive, mate.
Listen, I will. I'm just downloaded a podcast.
Bring your proof in next week.
Yeah, bring your proof in. Convince us of the flat Earth.
Well, I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to crowdfund getting on a SpaceX or a Virgin, whatever that Virgin
Galactic.
spaceship is. Because listen, I need to prove to Eddie that the world is round.
Mate, enjoy your wedding, Tommy. Appreciate the call, mate, as always. Just you turned us from a 5-star podcast into a 2-star podcast.
Oh, fuck off.
So angry. Oh, he's fucking hung up. See, angry hang up.
Yeah.
Can I just say, and I couldn't say it because he wouldn't have been able to hear me. If you go on booking.com and look at like Bali hotels, you'll then go on Instagram and get the Bali content. You don't have to actually be on TikTok
Correct.
looking at TikTok.
It listens to you. It listens to you as well.
That was the point I was trying to make, Matty, is that you're probably sitting there in the kitchen trying to convince your poor missus that the Earth's flat. And it's been picked up and you're getting an algorithm that reflects your thoughts and your feelings and your mood.
And also, I'm pretty sure it listens to your talk.
It does.
So I think he's had a lot of debates, maybe a few gummies, and he's just sat down.
100%.
Flat Earth.
And it's got its claws into them. You actually see people like funny videos of people that want certain things off their missus for birthdays and Christmas, just go and yell it into her phone.
That is a great idea.
Not a bad idea, is it?
That is a great idea. But look, listeners, you heard how angry he was. That's an angry mob guy.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. He got upset with the carrot cake because the carrot cake he knew had the potential to best him.
Yeah.
So he's got his tail up. Same with the flat Earth thing, mate. If he gets angry about something, you're close to the truth.
Yeah.
Tom.
Like
It's
if
as simple
someone
as
says
that.
something outrageously untrue about you, you just laugh.
You laugh. You
Yeah.
don't get serious. You don't get angry.
You try and fight people.
Exactly.
He was
right.
already talking about fighting people on the phone, saying passionately
he was
disagree.
pissed off as soon as you fucking answered.
Oh my God. Now, Sharkies.
Shark straw. So they go Manly, Penrith, South, Titans, Cowboys away, Knights, and then Raiders.
Awful.
So not great.
Awful run home.
Wow.
Manly dust them this Sunday, and then it's fucking.
What do you do if they lose? If they beat Manly? I actually tip Manly, but what do you do if they beat Manly?
I don't know. Probably cry.
What do you do if Dolphins finish above you this year?
Cry. What else do you want me to? You know what I mean? Like I need to have faith in the boys, but if we were to finish below the Dolphins, some early season sort of feelings may well have come true. That's all I'll say on that.
Now, on to Payne Haas. Payne Haas will test his value on the open market when he becomes a free agent November 1st for the 2025 season. According to Dave Riccio, all 16 clubs have expressed interest. Well, yeah. The Bulldogs seem to have the most chat around it, while the Tigers said they have money for him.
We'll have him too.
Yeah.
Payne wants to come to Manly, we'll take him.
Yeah, will ya?
Fucking oath we will.
But you got no money in the cap because you spent it all on Tommy, Jake,
Well,
and
I
DC.
don't know whether isn't the cap going up? Isn't the cap going
Their
up?
contracts are going up.
Cap's going up, mate. Cap's going up. Plenty of room.
Okay.
Plenty of room.
Okay.
No, listen, unlikely that we'll get Payne Haas. Do you think he'll re-sign with the Bronx?
I think that, and it's really hard to talk about it because I'm clearly biased, but I just don't know what another club could offer him. Like in regards to, look, okay.
What have you offered him? Do you know?
Well, it seems like it's around the $1 million mark. So another club let's say another club comes in crazy, $1.5 million. It's going to be a club that's substantially away from a premiership. Whereas Broncos, if we keep on this trajectory, hopefully we're in the vicinity of a premiership in the next 2 to 3 years. And winning a premiership at the Brisbane Broncos, no other club is anywhere near as big. The opportunities they can offer people are second to none, in my opinion. You know, obviously, you've got the Roosters and everything going on there, but the Broncos, in their grand final year, they made $35 million profit.
Mate, there's no denying how big the Broncos are.
Yeah.
Which puts the spoon you want into stark contrast, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
Well, I know.
And so, you look, there's so much more that goes into signing than just money and opportunity. But I just look at Payne. I'm like, he's the reason or a big reason for the club turning around. And let's say the Bulldogs, there's a lot of chat around the Bulldogs and off-field stuff in regards to, you know, Sonny Bill and all that. And that could be a huge draw for Payne Haas. But I just think that, mate, you've come so far. The Broncos, if you turn the Broncos from where they were back to the powerhouse they were in early 2000s, late 90s, the plaudits, you will be remembered forever. Like it is truly, and then you talk about opportunity, the amount of people that would want to get involved with the Broncos from a sponsorship perspective is like infinite.
Obviously, you're trying to sell the dream here to Payne. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
okay.
But like, if the Dogs, for argument's sake, were to come with a big offer, Bulldogs are a massive club.
Nowhere near as big as Broncos.
But they're a big Sydney club, right? They just are. And maybe you could sell to him, imagine bringing the Dogs back.
But he's already done that with the Brisbane. It's like, you got to go and do it again.
Maybe for the right price, though, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're talking a fucking shitload of money difference, it depends what's motivating him. You don't know. You don't necessarily know what's motivating.
Oh, for sure. And like, as I said, it could be a lot of off-field stuff. Like,
especially, I mean, if you were to win the comp this year, I don't think you will, but if you were to win the comp this year, maybe he ticks the box, off you go.
why do you have to say you don't think we will?
I think Panthers will, mate. That's what I think.
We just say, like, why can't you say we're a chance?
You're not a chance, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think you'll be sniffing butts in September. I think you'll be in and around. You know what I mean? I don't think
We're
you'll win.
butt sniffing in September.
Yeah.
Well, then what are you doing?
Well, we probably won't be there.
So what are you doing
We'll
then?
be on holidays, mate.
Well, it's got to be worse than butt sniffing.
No, as in like you're sniffing around.
Oh, okay.
You're in and around. You're at the party, but you're sort of annoying everyone. You're pissing everyone off. Like, time to go, bro. You might make a prelim. You know,
I mean, that's pretty good.
it's pretty good. Well, Manly's been there. You never gave us any credit for that a couple of years ago.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. No one did. All you said was you fucking can't beat any quality sides, which was true at the time. It was annoying, but no one gave us any credit for making a prelim. Just negative shit. Having to contend with what Girdler said every week. No one ever gave us a pat on the back and said, well done. Not once. So you're not getting one out of me.
Oh, okay, fair enough. With the Payne Haas, I just don't know what another club could offer that the Broncos can't offer. I just don't.
Maybe he hates Brisbane,
Seems like he loves it.
but he might hate it. Have you asked him? He might fucking go, this place stinks.
I don't think so.
He might.
don't
He's a
think
proud
so.
New South Welshman. He
is
might
a
want to
proud
come
New South
home.
Welshman. Nah, I think he likes Brisbane.
I don't know if he does.
Have you spoke to him?
No, but neither of you.
I have spoken to him, but just not about that.
Well, there you go.
But it's going to be interesting. I just hope that. I think
If he
that
stays, oof,
the best place for him.
that
Honestly,
side of yours
it's
is
got to be
starting to look
Brisbane.
really hot long term.
Oh, super hot. As I said, I think people underestimate the size of Broncos as a club. Like when I was coming through, not due to like I was on the back end of it, but the Broncos were the biggest sporting organisation in the country, bar any sport, AFL, whatever it was, and so
Not anymore.
yeah, but they could get back to that if Payne takes them to.
How much, like, if you get up memberships this year, Matty, 2023 memberships, how much bigger are they than next biggest? In
I think they're like 30. Like in regards to average crowd, they're like 30,000.
I'm talking about memberships. I think it's probably maybe 10, 15. bigger
Yeah,
than
you're
next
right.
best.
So they're highest on 40, just over tick over 40, and South are next on almost 32.
So
they're
fuck-
bigger
and,
than
mate, and you can
Rabbitohs.
get, and that goes all the way down to like 8s.
Yeah, so Para, Penrith Warriors don't have it, but Gold Coast are 8, but there's an asterisk there. So Gold Coast are 8, but that's prior to the season. There's been no updated. So the current smallest is St George on 13.
Yeah, Broncos would be even bigger now because they're going so well as well. Top of the table.
Yeah, this was updated in
It's like
June.
4 times bigger than St George, just on memberships alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Not to mention, you're like one of the only clubs to turn a profit.
Yeah, substantial profit too. As I said, there's so much that taking one of the biggest clubs, well, the biggest club in the game to a premiership, breaking a 15-year, 16-year drought,
Long drought.
and it's there. It's a reality. It's not like if we get this guy, we'll be in the top 8 next year, and then the year after, it's like, bruh, it's fucking right here.
It's actually fucked how long it's been since Brisbane have won a comp.
I know.
It's disgraceful, really.
It's crazy. Fuck it, I can't.
It probably is. I would say, because you're sitting here sucking off the club, most memberships, most opportunities, most money, most talent pool, most profit, and yet you still haven't won a comp since 2006. We've won 2 since then. Should have been 3.
It's kind of like New South Wales to a degree, don't you reckon?
Well, we've won Shield since then.
Like, was it 6 in 18 years or something? 4 in 18 years?
We've won
And yet you're like nearly double the population.
4 Shields since you won a comp. Think about it that way.
No,
That's a lot.
And how many Shields has Queensland won?
Couple more than that. But tough era for the state. It was a tough era for us.
Okay. Don't forget, tonight you can watch the Dragons v Tigers on 9 Now. Stream it live and free. Then you got the absolute blockbuster Broncos versus Rabbitohs, or Rabbitohs versus Broncos. Then afternoon, Sharkies versus Manly. I actually cannot wait for Broncos versus Rabbitohs, but Sharkies versus Manly. I'm actually really keen for that.
Mate, that's a good, honest Sunday afternoon game.
Oh
That's
yeah.
like you look at that and you go, oh, that's Sunday afternoon footy.
Oh, fucking
Sharks
oath.
Manly, Shark Park, fucking oath. Good stuff.
Also, don't forget, Menulog code is TAGO, T-A-G-O, $10 off when you spend $30 or more on Menulog. So get your feed, you spend $30, you put in the code TAGO, T-A-G-O, and you get $10 off. Tino, David Fifita.
Told you, Tino's coming to Manly.
Oh, okay. We're done?
Yeah, well, we'll take both of them.
Will you?
Yeah, and
So you want to get rid of Olakau'atu? Oh, that's shit.
No, we'll just find room, mate.
Yeah?
Just find room.
Okay.
Maybe just sit them down and say, listen, at Manly, right, in years gone
Can you,
by.
actually, you know what? Sell us Manly.
Listen, if you come down to Manly, what I'd be saying to them is, if
You
you,
want to look into the...
if you take big, fat, juicy pay cuts, all right, we can guarantee you rings. If you go back through some of the, if you go back through some of the great fucking teams all time, 2008, 40-0 against the cheating Melbourne Storm, 40-0, and they were cheating, rorting the cap. Band of brothers come together and they go, you know what, boys, let's fucking do it for each other. If we have to take haircuts to keep winning, then so be it. So if we get them to buy into the Manly ethos of take massive unders, then glory awaits. The proof's in the pudding. 2011, 2008, should have been 2013. Forward pass robbed us. You know, might have been a sleeper in the side, dropping balls. Anyway, not important. Not important. Call it 3 comps. Call it 3 comps in the last 10 years. Call it 3 in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
A bit of your creative accounting there, but call it 3 and 10. What other club can offer you that?
Well, there's a few.
Brisbane can't. Titans can't. Storm, they cheated. Roosters don't have an immortal playing for them at the moment, so they're fucked. Who else you got? Who can offer you what Manly can offer?
Penrith?
Come and play under like one of the most revered coaches in the comp. Respected. Penrith, well, they haven't won 3 yet, have they? They've only won 2, mate. We're 3 and 10. They've got 2 and 10.
3 and 10. Holy shit. Hopefully they don't see this because they might sign.
So what I'd say is, boys, come down and experience the good life. Because there's no better place to live.
Well, Gold Coast is better.
Yeah, but it's a bit...
Oh, what's wrong with Gold Coast?
The nicest stretches of beaches in the world is the Northern Beaches.
No,
That's just a fact.
don't
No,
be
it's a
silly.
fact.
You're
That's
being
a fact.
silly.
No, it's a fact.
Like, I like when you be silly, but you're being a bit too silly.
fact.
You're being a bit too silly
It's
with
fact.
that.
If you want to play, the best place to live as a rugby league player is the Peninsula. Fact. It's a fact of life.
Why do so many good players leave then?
Or the south of France. But if you want to go play in that fucking beta Super League, then be my guest.
Mate, could
If
you
you want to
imagine?
play the proper stuff, Peninsula.
Imagine Tino and Fifita over in Super League.
Oh my god, it'd be sickening. They could win it just the 2 of them on the field. No offense to Super League, but they could.
Oh, okay. Dragons versus Tigers. Dragons paying $1.56. Tigers $2.45.
What a shit! Like, I'm sorry, but this shouldn't be a Thursday night game. It just shouldn't be.
I can't, you know what?
It's absurd.
I think they've, and look, this is I'm conspiracying up, and maybe it's because Tom called, and that's why I'm getting conspiracy theory. But I think it's because it lands on the game, Matilda game. They've just gone because Matilda's played tonight, don't they? So they've just gone
Eyes up from
Blandy.
Actually, I'm impressed. The more I look at it, they go, let's put the worst.
And the Ashes on.
Yeah, and the Ashes, the worst. Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it's true. Let's put the worst possible game on because they both kick off. The Ashes starts at 8, and the Matildas probably start at 8. So it's a full house tonight.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm gonna go. Jesus Christ! It's a coin flip. Flip of the coin. I'm gonna go the Tigers.
Okay. You reckon there's a bit of value there? $2.45.
I think there's a little bit of value.
Okay.
I think there should be a little
With
bit more
Appy
even
being
than that.
back, I think
Because Appy's back.
Yeah, and Dragons are, it's been tough. I'm still going to tip Dragons though. Warriors, Raiders.
I like the Warriors.
I reckon there's value in the Raiders at $2.96 though.
Yeah, I like the Warriors.
Because they're above them on the table, the Raiders.
They are. But the fucking Warriors just seem to have found something.
They're so hot.
They seem to have found something. Bit of rain about apparently, and apparently Warriors don't like winning in the rain. That's a stat from a random stats guy.
Okay.
But I can't go past the Warriors.
I just love the Warriors bandwagon. I want to
They've
get
been
on it.
humping teams, mate.
Mate.
They've been humping teams.
It's so good. I just think that though, like $2.96 for Raiders and they're above them on the table. And I know that the Warriors absolutely towed them up last time they played, but I reckon there's a bit of value there.
Bit of value.
South Sydney Rabbitohs, $1.67. Broncos are pushed out to $2.21.
I've got to think, like, the way I'm looking at this is like the band's back together for the South.
And Rabbitohs need the win.
And they need the win. The bye round, or the origin period has not been kind to them. I think they need, if I'm them, I'm looking at this as like, okay, run home starts now.
Yep.
Got to get the win. And they're stacked again.
Fuck. When you see all those those players back, you're like, oh shit.
Mate, it's like a whole time. It's like almost a whole side.
Unbelievable. Like Camo, Jairo, Latrell, Cody Walker, Damien Cook. Like far out. Campbell Graham.
Exactly right. I have tipped Souths. That I wouldn't be surprised if Broncos won.
I'm tipping Broncos.
Obviously.
Titans.
216.
Roosters, $1.70.
Titans. And I'll tell you why. If you backed the Roosters every week thinking that something was going to turn around, you'd be fucking broke.
Well, I'm broke because I did that for quite a while.
So, no, I'm not doing it.
I'm going Titans purely out of principle.
I'm going Titans because I think they'll win. The Roosters suck. And you get an all right price.
Newey Knights, 3.30. Storm, $1.34.
Storm will pump them. Again, people thinking the Knights are fucking all that because they had a couple of nice Origin wins. They don't count. I'm sorry to say. They just don't. Storm will fucking plough them, I think.
Cowboys, Eels.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys.
I feel like they've turned a corner. Don't you?
Scotty Drinkwater is getting so hot and
Took
horny.
them 10 weeks, but they're coming together.
Mate.
Very nicely.
Penrith Panthers paying $1.04. Canterbury Bulldogs have come in from $12 to $11.
Well, Penrith were $1.01, so they've blown out. I don't know why.
Blown out.
They've blown out, mate.
$1.04.
They've had a blowout. I don't know why, mate.
That is
Shocking.
Fun. That is fun.
You're getting an all right price now for the Panthers. They were $1.01. Now you're getting $1.04.
You reckon there's value, $1.04?
Fucking no. They cannot lose. They will not lose. Put $100,000 on it.
Oh,
$4,000.
shit. Jesus. Mate, when I see like when you see bets that are like $100,000 on like $1.20 favourite.
You got it.
Oh my God.
Matt, complete and utter madness.
Cronulla Sharks, $1.35. Manly Seagulls have blown out to $3.25.
You want to talk value, Denon? You're talking value. You're a value whore. That's value.
What a surprise!
I think we might get the jump here.
You've got 13 plus.
Well, I'm not going to say 13 plus. I'm not going to commit to 13 plus. I think we win though.
Okay.
I'd be nice if we get 13 plus.
I think $3.25 is actually crazy value.
Sharks are going like a busted ass. What am I missing?
13 plus is $9 for Manly.
Ooh, take that.
You taking it?
Fucking oath.
Look, I'm gonna go Manly just because they've made a few changes. Sharkies, hey,
because we're a better side.
They're definitely not. And also, I went Manly because I think all the other boys went Sharkies, and we needed to change our tips up. Anything going on?
No, nothing going on.
Nothing going on. Fucking hell.
Not much going on.
Okay.
Nothing to announce this week.
All right, sweet. Well, anyway, as usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.
Love you all. Bye.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.